All right, everyone. Today, this video is going to show you how to create a diptych in Photoshop. First step, we need to open up two photos. That's what the diptych stands for. We're going to go to File, Open, and this will look differently for you if you're working on your Chromebook. You can access the how-to documents in the yellow folder on your Schoology page if you need help on how to do all of this on a Chromebook. Okay, so if we have our images downloaded to our computer from our Google Drive, I've got mine in pictures. You might have yours in downloads, so just remember where you save yours. So I go to pictures. I'm going to scroll down until I see my images. Here are my two images here. Um, I'm going to click on the first one, and then on my keyboard, I'm going to hold down the Control button, and I'm going to pick the second one. Now I'm using Control just in case yours aren't next side by side. That way, I'll show you an example. You can pick this one, hold down Control, and select two that are not side by side. But yeah, so use Control to select both, and then press Open. All right, so up at the top, you'll see that we have two tabs here. Two tabs. We have one image in one tab and one image in the other. We're going to work in just a second on getting them moved into the same tab, but first we need to change the height. We need them to be the same height because we are going to place them side by side on the same tab. So we're going to take the height of this one. We need to find out what the height of this one is first. We're going to go to image size. And you'll notice that my height is, I'm going to write this down on a random sheet of paper so I don't forget it, 8.713. That's my height. You'll notice that my resolution is 300. If your resolution says 72, that is fine. We do not plan on printing these out, so you can keep your resolution at 72. However, because I did plan on printing mine out, my resolution is at 300. It's important, please note this, it's important that both of your images are the same height as well as the same resolution, okay? So like I said, you can keep yours at 72, that is completely fine. Just make sure that your other image up here is also at a resolution of 72. Okay, so my height is 8.713. Your height might be 10, might be 54, whatever it is, you need to write down your height on a scrap piece of paper. Okay, we're gonna cancel here because we're not changing anything. Over here, we're gonna go to our next tab. So our next tab, we're gonna change the height of this one. So to do that, we go up here to image size. And here you can see the height is at 14. We're going to change that to my recorded 8.713. And you'll notice that as I do that, this chain, this constrain proportion, does its job and automatically changes the width for me, which is nice. You'll also notice that my resolution is the same as my other image here, 300, so that's good. Now we're going to press OK. All right, so now my heights are the same. Now we need to get them into the same tab. So to do this, we're going to go over to Select. Now there's always more than one way to do things in Photoshop. So if you want to use the hotkeys that you see here, go for it. This is just one of the many ways. So I'm going to select All. And then I'm going, notice how it's selected. It put the marquee around my image. I'm going to go over here to Edit. And I'm going to choose Copy. Again, here's hotkeys. If you're more familiar with that, go for it. Okay, now we need to paste the image into the other tab. So we're going to click on the other tab, and we are going to go Edit and paste. And that will pop the image directly in the center of our second tab. All right. Over on the right-hand side, you'll notice that there are two layers now. Now yours might look different. Yours might have this bottom layer might be called background. If it is called background, it's important for you to change that. So all you have to do to change that, and you might have a lock right over here, and that's okay. All you have to do to change that is double click, and a pop-up screen will come up, and it'll ask you if you want to call it layer 0 or whatever you want to call it, and just press OK. All right. And when you do that, that lock will go away. Okay. Next up, we need to add a solid color fill layer. So to do this, we're going to come over here to the create new fill or adjustment layer. We're going to click on that. And at the very top, you'll see solid color. Go ahead and click solid color. White is already established for me, and that's good. You have the choice to do a black, or a white solid fill color background. Please do not use any other hues, reds, blues, greens, oranges. Please do not do that. I'm asking you to keep it professional and fine art looking. So we are going to choose either a white or a black background. With black and white images, what I'm using here today, I usually prefer white mattes. So I'm going to go ahead and stick with the white fill. If you're using a color image or two color images, sometimes the black mattes look better with color images, so you can absolutely choose black as well. All right, so I'm going to press OK. Now the next thing is I need to bring this solid color fill. It popped it in the middle. I need to bring it down below my layer 1. So I'm just going to click, hold, and drag that layer underneath layer 1. There we go. All right, now I'm going to click over here. I'm going to click on the top layer so that I can move it. I'm going to come over here and make sure that my move tool is selected. That is the crosshairs. Okay, so I've got my move tool selected. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click and drag this image all the way over, and you'll notice as I'm dragging it, you'll notice these pink lines pop up. These pink lines are our friends. They tell us if our image is centered or not. So I'm going to bring this all the way over off to the edge. I mean, I can't see the image anymore, but I'm going to look for those pink lines and take it just off the picture frame here. There we go. It's kind of tricky. Take your time with it. Okay, so once I've got that done, I'm going to go to reveal all. So we're going to go up here to image and scroll down here to reveal all. Once you click on that, you should see both of your images at that point. Okay. All right, next we're going to add some space in between our two pictures. So with my move tool selected, I'm going to click on this image and move it to the right. Now, when I do this, you'll notice there's little measurements that pop up. That's called the HUD, the heads up display. And we do want to keep note of what number we use. So I'm going to click and I'm going to drag, and you'll see that little bitty measurement display popping up. Keep your image centered, so make sure those pink lines are popping up. That's good. And let's see, right there, it says 0.25. You notice how the arrow to the right, and then it says 0.25. I'm going to go ahead and let go, and I'm going to note that on my scrap piece of paper. I'm going to write down 0.25. Okay, we're going to need that number here in a second. Okay. Now I moved my image off here off the side So I can't see my image. I'm going to go up here to Image Reveal All again so that I can see everything. All right, we're almost done. So now we need to add the space around our image because right now we just have this solid color fill down the center. Okay, so to do this, we're going to go to Image. And this time, instead of image size, we need to focus on canvas size. So we're going to click on canvas size. We want to make sure that the little checkbox relative is checked. And we are going to enter a digit for our width and our height. We are going to add white space, or if you did the black mat, we're going to add black space to the edges as well as the top. But here's the thing. In between, you'll remember I did 0.25 space in between. Well, I want to add this same amount of width over here and over here, which means that my width would need to double. So I'm going to add 0.25 plus 0.25, which is actually what? It's actually 0.50. Yeah? Okay, so then the height, I want to do the same thing. I want to add this same amount to both the bottom and the top. So again, my height is going to be 0.5, doubled. Oops, that's correct. Here we go. Okay, make sure relative is checked and press OK. All right, there it is. So now we have our evenly spaced amount all the way around. And if I come over here, I can click this so you guys can see it on a gray background. All right, so now the last thing is we need to save this. So we're going to go over here to File, Save As. Okay, now I'm going to call this, I'm going to title this Juxtaposition. Let's see, what is this? Juxtaposition, and I'm going to call it Diptych, and I'll call it Diptych 1. Okay, now notice my save as type is a PSD. So the prefix after, I'm sorry, the suffix after the file extension name is .psd. This is correct. I want to save it as a PSD. I'm also going to save it, go over here and choose where to save it to. You can choose to save it to your H drive, or if you have a USB plugged in, you can choose your USB somewhere down here. I am working on my personal computer, so I'm going to use my pictures, and I'm going to press save. Okay, give it a second to save. All right, now I'm not done just yet. I also want to save it as a JPEG. So I'm going to come up here, go back to File, Save As. Now you'll notice that the file name is the same, so I don't have to change anything here. But if I go to Save As Type, if I click on this drop-down menu, you'll notice JPEG is right there. Click on JPEG, and then my extension, my file extension has changed to .jpg. This is good. I don't have to worry about the title. It's already done for me, and I press save. This screen will pop up all the time. Sometimes it pops up with it at 8 or 9. You can just take this toggle and go all the way up to maximum, or you can use the drop-down menu and go all the way to maximum and press OK. And give it a second to save, and now you're ready to turn it in.